As far as motivation, we are still looking into that. It appears he was targeting members of the administration.
You mentioned him traveling by train, which not a lot of Americans do cross-country these days. Does that raise questions about whether he was trying to avoid being tracked?
We don't know whether he had the firearms with him. It does appear that he purchased those firearms within the past couple of years, but that could be another reason why he traveled by train.
So today, the armed suspect who charged at Secret Service due in federal court as we learn more about his sinister plan targeting Trump officials after traveling across the country with his weapons in tow.
So FBI Director Kash Patel joins us now with an update. So, Kash, I know you guys have been working feverishly, especially over the last 24 hours, along with Secretary Markwayne Mullin. What have you learned about the shooter that you want our audience to understand?
Hey, thanks so much for having me on. First and foremost, I want to remind your audience of President Trump's leadership, literally courage under fire that evening at the press conference to announce to the world and be as transparent as possible. He's assembled the greatest law enforcement team that I've ever seen. And between myself and Markwayne Mullin and the interagency in the White House, we are prepared to tackle this investigation, as we've done since it started. We immediately, for the FBI, dispatched evidence response teams, a mobile command center, stood up our NC3 National Crisis Coordination Center at headquarters, and flexed in our expert capabilities in technical analysis. We conducted interviews literally across the country in multiple jurisdictions in less than 24 hours after this tragic event, and also used FBI fixed-wing assets to transport evidence from across the country to Quantico so it can be analyzed quickly, because we believe in the necessity for speed and doing this properly, which is why we've done this investigation above board with our partners at DOJ, and which is also why just over 24 hours after this tragic incident, you'll be seeing myself and Attorney General Todd Blanche address the nation with actual details relating to this event.
So, Kash, can you go into the profile of this person? I know you can't talk about the investigation, but was he on the Fed's radar before? Did y'all see the postings that he was making, that he was trying to come to the hotel? And is it true that there was an alert put out with a description of him, but he wasn't detected in the hotel?
So those are all things that the Bureau and our partners have been looking at. As to the Bureau, we have what's called a BAU, a Behavioral Analysis Unit. It's been made famous from past historical investigations. And those folks have been working all weekend. I received a full briefing yesterday morning from our BAU unit. What that does is not necessarily provide direct evidence to be utilized in court, but it examines what we have collected so far, to include emails, social media postings, witness interviews, interviews with people, family, friends, and neighbors, so we can provide a complete picture of this individual's mindset and intent when we make the presentment in court. And that's what we're going through right now and in the process of finalizing, and shortly we'll see that presentment in court.
So is any of that true that he mentioned? Is any of that?
Yeah, because, Kash, you're talking about the behavior analysis of him. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, was there a profile put out? Was he known? Was there chatter about him before it? I'm not his mind doing the act, before it.
Yeah, all those questions will be answered in the complaint, the criminal complaint that's being presented. I just can't get ahead of my partners at the Department of Justice, and especially can't get ahead of the federal magistrate that it's being presented to. But we have answered all those questions, and that's what we've been working towards. America deserves answers. President Trump has committed to transparency and accountability, and what we are doing with the team that the president has assembled is answering those questions in record speed, but also divulging them to the public at the appropriate time without jeopardizing the integrity of the investigation. And this incident happened on late Saturday night, and it's Monday morning, and we're about to go to court. That's a pretty quick turnaround, if not maybe the fastest for something of this magnitude.
Mr. Director, Lone Wolf, what evidence do you have to lead us to believe, based on his background, and support this idea? Also, the long gun and the shell casings from the scene, any update on the origin of the weapon? And how is this going to change security going forward?
Yeah, so look, the weapons were, the FBI immediately took control of the scene after it was safeguarded by our Secret Service and law enforcement personnel. The weapons were transported along with the shell casings and ballistics back to Quantico Laboratories for analysis, and that information will be included again in the criminal complaint that's coming. And so what we're going to do is continue to look at the interviews that we've conducted, the dozens and dozens of interviews we've conducted over the weekend, and put that in one place to show you what he did, how he got there, when he got there, when he arrived, how he got down to the area in question, how he was able to get through security undetected. We have all those questions answered, and that's why I wanted to present with the Attorney General at the press conference later today, once the magistrate has certified or signed off on the criminal complaint.
So, Kash, what can we expect at the hearing today?
I think you are going to hear great detail. All the questions you are asking, you should be asking them, and we should be answering them. And the great thing about President Trump's commitment to law enforcement is that he is requiring us to answer them truthfully and honestly after a full investigation, and that's exactly what we have done. And that's why the American people can have confidence in the manner in which we've done this methodical investigation. I mean, just remind everyone, this was almost the entirety of the president's cabinet, the president and vice president himself, and 2,000 members of the media. This is something the movies don't even write about, something like this kind of scenario, this kind of tragedy. And thankfully, the quick reaction of law enforcement, we're going to be able to present to the world in less than 36 hours almost exactly what happened, this individual's entire background, who he knew, where he lived, who he was talking to, everything about the firearms, everything about the ballistics. And as you saw, our evidence response teams were on scene so fast. That is the reason we are going to be able to present to you this material. I was bouncing around headquarters yesterday, the Washington field office, the White House. The men and women of the FBI have not slept all weekend. The DOJ hasn't slept all weekend. The interagency hasn't slept all weekend. It's because America wants answers.
Yeah, Mr. Director,
and we're going to give them to you because President Trump required that.
They did a great job on the ground, but they remain reactive. The proactive approach is still under great scrutiny. The President of the United States is averaging an assassination attempt once a year, and there's still protocols that still. So who's going to do the investigating of the procedures? Secret Service can't investigate themselves because there's still people in leadership at the Secret Service that were responsible for Butler. How does that happen? It was a failure.
Right. I can't speak to Butler, and I agree it was a total failure, absolutely. But I have full confidence in Secretary Markwayne Mullin. He oversees the United States Secret Service. I've talked to him repeatedly over the weekend, and I've spoken with him and said, whatever you need from the FBI, whatever we can assist in, and however we can better prepare to protect our protectees going forward with the United States Secret Service, this FBI stands ready to do, and we're going to improve that process under Markwayne's leadership and oversight of the Secret Service.
Mr. Director, what about the mags? There was only one mag that people had to walk through. That's the one we saw where he's running through. Any chance going forward we can put another one outside, maybe two of them outside, sweep the entire hotel if we're in this situation again?
Look, that's a great question, and I think we are going to do it entirely differently. You heard the president say on Saturday night that we're going to do this again in short order, maybe in 30 days or so, and we're going to be ready for that. The security posture, I imagine, is going to be completely different. I'll be working with the White House, with the Department of Homeland Security, the Secret Service, the Metropolitan Police Department. The FBI will be fully resourced for that event to assist in the security, and we will provide our input. That's the great thing about having this law enforcement team. I can call Markwayne and the White House and the interagency and say, hey, we got to do a couple of things differently, and we're already talking about it, and that's the good thing, and we're going to be better postured for the next event.
So Jason Pack in the Wall Street Journal today, former FBI agent, offered this. They said that the Secret Service built a perimeter to stop an army, but they were beat by a room key because the guy checked in the day before, and he wasn't part of, shouldn't have been part of the whole event. What do you say to that?
Again, it's one of those details that we will provide to you extensively in relation to where he was staying, what was found inside where he was staying, and any other materials that were collected, to include laptops and cell phones. But this was a matter that needs to be heavily scrutinized because it almost took the lives of dozens, if not hundreds of people, but for the quick reaction of our law enforcement. And we're going to be talking about how we improve the security, not just for this event, but for all events going forward. We're going to learn from this one, and we're going to utilize President Trump's leadership and backing of the Blue and law enforcement and work with DHS to ensure our cabinet, our protectees, and the American civilian population is as best protected as possible.
Wow, it could have been a lot worse. We are grateful for the security guards that were there that protected our president and all of our friends and the cabinet members. Thank you so much. I know you've had a busy weekend. We really appreciate you coming on with us.
Thanks, guys.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.